Hello, hello, hello. Mic test, mic test, mic test. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Mic test, mic test, mic test. Looks like the audio is not clear. Mic test, mic test, mic test. Looks like the audio is not clear. Hello, guys, and welcome to the 53rd edition of the Trading Opportunities webinar. This is Nirav, and before we begin, kindly let me know if the audio is clear now. Let me check once again. Okay, thank you, Fraser, for letting me know that. In that case, let's quickly start with the legalities here. The quick disclaimer here suggesting that all content presented here for educational purposes. I'm not soliciting buy or sell. If you do go on to use the ways presented for your trading or investing, you yourselves will be liable for your profit loss or loss of profit. Right. With that out of the way, let me just give you a very quick introduction for those of you who are new to the webinar. My name is Nirav, and I'm the admin and owner of the website 50eyes.com, as well as the YouTube channel 50 Eyes Market Analysis, where this broadcast is currently going live. And we do these broadcasts currently every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the time always is 2 p.m. GMT. Right. So if you want to join in live and ask questions, that is the time we go live. And of course, past webinars and discussions can all be viewed by hitting the live button on the YouTube channel. Okay. And I'm also the author of the book, Think with the Market, Secrets to Achieve 80% plus accuracy using Elliott Waves. And one second. And last thing that we always show off before moving ahead is the 6-year track record of 80% plus accuracy. Basically, what this is a consecutive track sheet of all the webinars that I have done till 2021, right? And video uploads as well. And dates analysis is all posted here along with the video links. The outcomes that were in our favor are given +1, those not in our favor are given -1, and based on that record, this is the accuracy we have. So as you can see, 2021 was 82.22, 2020 88.52, 84.88, 2019, so on and so forth, 2018 and 17, and yeah, of course, 1683.34. So this has been the record for 6 years, and the reason for showing is that generally in this industry, even an accuracy of 60% plus is considered very high. So just show off of the skill set here. Yeah, and lastly, we have also enabled the join feature or the membership for our YouTube audience. Those of you who are finding the content useful and would like to support the webinars. Basically, if you want to see these webinars coming in the future, just like these, then support the channel by using the join button here. And thank you, Fraser, and the others who have joined us far. Right. With that, let's now begin with your actual webinar content. The way we'll proceed is first of all, we'll go over the chart of the currency pairs, followed by commodities, then indices, and at the end, we will discuss BTC. So first of all, we'll just start off with the chart of Euro USD. One second. Hello, Fraser, Charles, Clever, and Philippe. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to you guys based on the time zones you are located in. And now let's just start off with the actual content here. Euro USD first chart we'll be discussing. We have what you call same progression as discussed last time. We discussed that above this last high of 1.07610, two possibilities exist. The old possibility that we have a one down. Just show you one down and two up remains, but it will get relegated if the market goes above the high of yeah, above this high of 1.08042. Now in this particular case, it has not really breached that high, but this much movement is quite big in itself for us to consider the fact that possibly this yeah, as I was saying, it is possible that the downside movement is still possible, but this movement itself is quite big to consider the possibility that it is very less likely scenario now, very low probability case scenario now. So for now, we will not be taking any interest in shorts, but if the market establishes itself about above the high of 1.08042, then we will possibly look for some long trading opportunities. Right? So it is currently a wait and watch. We are not looking for shorts right now, unless of course these are short-term intraday. We are currently only be interested in longs, and for that we do not have a confirmation just yet. So it's still a wait and watch. And the other point I was trying to make was that establishment of price action above the level means if the price goes above it and then retests it at least once or more times, that is what we will call an establishment of price above that level. So again, since we do not have that yet, so it's just a wait and watch clear. So let me know guys if there's any doubts before I move over to the next chart of EURCAD, which seems to be working as per our expectation. So thanks, the option to join is not available in jurisdiction, then button is not appearing as showed on the screen. So maybe YouTube does not cover every country, so that's possible. But you need to be a subscriber, which I believe you already are. So no issues. Just keep coming to the webinars and keep sharing the content. Hopefully we get the requisite number of members who use the join button to continue doing these webinars. So thank you, Charles and Clever, for the confirmation. Let's now head over to our next chart, which is EURCAD. Let me first. Yeah, I'm back here. So let's now check the chart of EURCAD. By the way, there might be some sound disturbances or background noises incoming, possibly. Just ignore them, can't do anything about them today. Okay, so EURCAD. What we discussed last time was that there were two possibilities. One was that the wave Z is complete already over here. And the second was that this market is still having more upside remaining, possibly as a nested impulse, right? So far, or in the last discussion, we said we are not even interested unless the market goes over 1.47143. So it has already done that. So this market has indeed triggered longs. Now that's all well and good, but the issue is one thing. Let me quickly check one thing here. Yeah, so that's all well and good, but that does not suggest extreme upside movement here still, right? Let me tell you first of all what I basically mean. So in short, what I'm saying is that if we look at the bigger picture here, we have one of those counts, we have two counts basically, but one of the counts is suggesting this, right? So we can say that if this was not the end of the Z, it is possible that the market is still continuing for the wave Z. And by definition, wave Z is generally a zigzag. Not generally, it is a zigzag, right? So in that case, if you just look at the general structure of a zigzag, it is generally like this. This is the first leg of which is called the A. correction, and then this is the next leg up. So what we seem to have so far is, again, this structure can be counted in multiple ways, but if we count this as a A up, we can see there is a B down, and this next leg up can be considered the C up. Right. So long story short is that also there is another possibility that maybe this B is still continuing sideways, and then it will go up for C. That basically means it can move within this box before taking up for the C. Now, with both of these possibilities in mind, what that basically means is that this market is more or less having upside, but we are not very sure how much upside. It is possible that this market gives a very small upward movement and then falls. So while our longs are triggered and they are working well, that does not what do you call suggest that we can continue holding it for much longer times. So this is the kind of market we can look for short-term longs. And since our longs are already triggered and in profit, at least we need to move them to break even. Long story short is while we will look to continue holding the longs for now, they require sort of constant monitoring, or if not, then at least move the stops to entry. So WT, what do you call it, EURCAD, that's currently my take over here, right? We can do a few more things. We can try and decipher some targets for it, right? They can be based on the past movements we had. So let's just quickly check that. But what I found is that in the case of WXYZ, they generally are not of that much importance. So this is the projection for wave W, which I have just made on screen here. And it is suggesting that if we achieve equality, then possibly this market can go and touch the high around the price level of 1.492, right? So just another quick level to keep in mind. And as I said, much more upside is possible, but we do not have any confirmation. So this is the kind of situation to remain cautious in. Nothing much to add here. Let's head over to USDJPY. Let me know in the comments if there are any doubts or questions while I load the next chart. Thank you, Charles and Philippe and Fraser. Now, with Euro JPY, sorry, USD JPY, the situation is actually unfolding quite like we thought or we discussed in our last webinar, right? So, thank you, Clever. So, what we have so far is, let me just check one thing here real quick. Hmm. So what we have so far is, by the way, if you guys are not aware, we were able to capture part of this leg down, not whole of it, part of it, and we were tracking it since the last two webinars, I believe. So if you want to capture opportunities like these and many more, as we have captured so far 62 trading opportunities in our last 51 webinars, then do keep joining these webinars live. And if you are enjoying them and benefiting from them, make sure that we have also enabled the membership option on our YouTube channel. So if you would like to see more of these, you can use that. Now, continuing back with our particular discussion on USDJPY, what I was saying last time is that a simple zigzag movement seems to have completed here. And once the same has completed, the second thing we, or the first thing we actually looked for was the break of this trend line, this CN color trend line. It seems the market has already gone above it, right? So at this point, it has triggered short-term longs. Basically, what I mean is that although the market is suggesting longs here, it's not the kind of situation I would like to enter complete long position. Long story short, if you are going for 10 lots, enter +1 here, and then we will look to build up the position as the market goes. But overall, this is a long activated here. The technical stop loss being around 131, or actually it's below this 130.57 level, but somewhere around here we can say is our stop for this current long position. And it's just a situation where the market can either go up or it can remain sideways within range like this and then go up. So long story short, we are more inclined to look for more long trades or opportunities here, unless the market does something otherwise, for instance, something like taking out this technical stop or something like that. So longs triggered, and partial entry is already triggered here. So manage accordingly. And of course, I've discussed the stop loss, and not much point in discussing the target just yet, because the minimum target already is near the high around 138. Let's head over to EURJPY. Unless you guys have any questions here, do let me know in the comments while I load the next chart. Thank you, Charles and Philippe. Now let's see what is happening really with EURJPY. This was the kind of instrument I clearly suggested to avoid for the shorter time frame. Now it has again moved a little bit more vigorously than we expected. So let's see what's going on. So anyways, the first thing we pointed out in the last webinar was that maybe this is a wave X, maybe it is still continuing. And whenever this X is complete, there will be a Z to the downside. And based on that, we made this arrow down leg, then followed by up leg. And the second possibility was that there is no down leg and the market will just go up, right? So it seems this hypothesis has played out, right? I personally would not able to capture anything here because of the simple fact that the movement of wave Z was not that clear enough. It was looking more like it was proceeding sideways as a possible wave X. One second. It was looking like it was proceeding sideways as a possible wave X, right? That's basically what I'm suggesting. And then it will go down. So, but anyways, at this point, it looks much more clearer, and it's more suggestive that the Z is most likely complete here, although some other possibilities we can also draw out from it. But for the time being, this is the count we are going to play with in this market, right? This basically suggests that more upside is possible on the cards, right? But keep in mind, this is one of the multiple possibilities which we discussed in the last webinar. I think the second one is marked on a different chart, or let me see if it's marked at all. If not, I'll just discuss it. So this is one of the possibilities which is now suggesting that more upside can be seen, right? So for instance, let's just discuss this completely before moving to the next one. In this possibility, I will not be looking for longs unless the market really closes above 145 or gives a strong move, taking out that level, right? So 145 is the level. And the reason we'll discuss with the second hypothesis, this is the first hypothesis, upside movement above 145, right? Now, second outlook is this over here. We have discussed this possibility multiple times already. The leg down is complete over here. Let's say an A wave, and then we have an A up, B down, and then a possibly C up. Now, once this one thing, A up, B down, and then C up. So once this upward movement is complete, we expect that more downside can follow. This is, by the way, 15 minutes chart. That was a 4-hour one. Let me just go to 4-hour for the sake of okay. So this was not the thing I want to discuss. Anyways, coming back again here, this was the point I was making earlier. So anyways, if this is the wave A down complete, this is the B up complete. then we expect wave C down, right? Funnily enough, we expect that wave C down can start with a diagonal formation, which we can take this as our first one down and then second up and then third down is possible. So long story short, if this is the count which is currently proceeding on this counter, then it is possible that the wave 2 continues going higher and wave 2 as we know can go to 99.9% of the wave 1. So technically this market can go as high as 145.4 145.5051 something ish level, basically near this high. It should just not close at that high or go above it, right? So since that is a possibility, it still remains a kind of unclear market. And while I was saying that I'll be interested in possible longs above what was this level, above 144.95 ish level, those will not be what do you call a very concrete sign for going longs. So still unclear, right? The only thing which is clear here to me is that if the market really goes below the 139.155 low, then the shorts will definitely be much higher probability than any longs which we are thinking right now. So EURJPY unclear situation remains unclear still, and only below 139 point. Basically, just check out this low on your chart because, as I said, data feeds may lead to different prices on different charts you guys may be having. So only below this low would we be looking for any possibilities of short with a higher probability. Nothing much to add here. Before we move to crude, guys, let me know if there is any doubt or query. Thank you, Charles and Philippe and Frank. Let me load the chart real quick here. Right. So first of all, in crude oil, previously we were able to capture this leg down. If you are following the, by the way, not just this leg down, we were able to capture below this white trend line. We were able to capture this whole move down. Right. Suggested target was between 64 to 62 level. This market almost touched the 64 level. And in the last webinar, I did say that this is as close as, I mean, this is quite close, and we should consider this as a partial profit booking level. If you were short, you yourself knew how to manage these positions. But in my understanding, we already considered this as a plus one. So a trade which again worked out. And again, for those of you who are just watching in the what do you call crude updates or watching it for the first time, I like to let you know, guys, that these webinars have been running for quite some time. This is the 53rd iteration. And if you are enjoying the content and finding it of benefit, make sure that you go and check out our YouTube memberships, which have been launched recently. You can check out by first subscribing to the channel and then hitting the join button, and support the channel definitely if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more of it in the future. Right? More of these webinars, of course, depend on how much you like and contribute towards the channel and the efforts. Getting back to our discussion of crude oil, as I was saying that last time when we discussed, we said that yes, the minimum downside movement we were expecting is over. So, well, that was well all good enough, but I was personally thinking that this market will give us some more downside. Let me just rearrange a few things. Right. So, as we discussed the last time, also, I was thinking that at least it will have two more downward movements in the future, right? However, it still can have that, but we generally do not expect a movement this big in the upward direction. Now this leg could be considered as a circle wave 4, right? If this is a circle wave 4, then we still have one leg down for the circle fifth, then up for the Roman 4, and then the Roman fifth down remaining. Again, two legs still we expect to the downside, but as I was saying, the only unclear sign or only sign which is suggesting something otherwise might be playing out is the fact that this market was able to close or go above, not close. It was able to go above 69.67 level, this high basically. So this is suggesting that we need to remain a little bit cautious here. But yes, overall the count still remains the same. Overall, we still think that if not two, then at least one more down leg may still be remaining here on this counter, right? So uh, as we said, we have already booked the profits on the first short. I am not really interested in entering shorts just yet because of this what do you call out of the ordinary movement. So the ideal strategy would be here to place our stops, not actually stops. No trade entries, just alerts here for now, right? Somewhere near the lows, I will look at the price action again and see how it is proceeding. And based on that, I will see if I want to re-enter shorts. But yes, technical analysis wise, still we will be looking for shorts, but no entries yet. Let me know if there is any specific question you guys have in mind before we move on to the chart of gold. Chal and Clever, thank you for your clarifications, and Parvez and Philippe. So guys, let's now move over to the chart of gold, which again is a little bit unclear. First thing on gold, when we were discussing this chart last time, I made it clear that there are two possibilities which exist, right? First possibility was that we were thinking that maybe after this first leg down, this is the second leg, and there will be the wave 3. Another outlook is that this is the two already complete here, and this is, as we have already counted, let me just show it quickly. And this is what we think is the 3 complete here, the 4 complete here, and the 5th complete here. Right? We did not at that point in time had a very clear way of distinguishes which count is going on. So I drew out this level around 1932.94, let's say 1933 level. And the idea was that if the market goes below 1933 level and sustains below it, that is sustains below this blue line, then we will be of the view that maybe this market is going with the possibility that that wave 2 is continuing. And the upward movement will be delayed because it will go down again for the completion of the flat structure, right? So currently, since this is completely stating itself as unclear because it is just staying right at the line we drew, right? So it is unclear if it will break it, if it's going to sustain above it. Sustain above it basically means it gives some price action, which is either sideways like a triangle, one second, like a triangle like something like this, or maybe a flat pattern or something like a very bullish kind of leg. Nothing like this has been seen so far. So basically, it has not shown us any sign of strength, right? Because there is no sign of strength, there is no long trading opportunity just yet. So this market is a wait and watch on the gold counter. We are currently not going to push any trades on this. Only thing of noteworthy importance I can do here is just push an alert below the 1933 level, a little bit below it, let's say around 1920-ish level, so that if the market goes below it and sustains, then I'll be alerted and do not have to keep checking the chart. So that's about it for gold. Wait and watch with the necessary levels discussed. Let me know if there's any doubts or questions before we load the chart of S&P 500. Thank you, Jill and Parvez and Clever. So guys, this is the chart of S&P 500. Last time when we were discussing, what we were saying was that things are a little bit unclear, and I had discussed two bearish possibilities, if not more. Right. So, so yeah, as I was saying, we had discussed two bearish possibilities. I'll just quickly show off what they were for those of you joining in for the first time. These were the two possibilities we were looking for. One was of a triangle. We were saying that maybe this was the A up of the triangle, the B down, the C up, the D down, and then the E up. And the idea was that if this is really is the D, then we expect more downside can be seen on the D, because generally Ds are not that small, right? But we do not have any such moment yet. And the second idea was that maybe D is not going to go lower just yet, and it's going to be maybe completed over here itself, and then that suggests basically that the wave E is incoming. And I already pointed out waves E's are generally accompanied by clear news events, or big news events, I should say. What is clear? Clear does not have anything to do in this situation. So big news events, we already know they are incoming, right? No need to point out anything here. Just check forexfactory.com if you are not keeping yourselves up, right? So it pretty much does set itself up for a possible triangle, right? Possible, I'm saying. Now, the good thing is that triangles, the trade setups are rather clear. If we really are thinking that this is an E and is going to be accompanied by a big news event, then the break below the BD trend line is what will trigger the shorts. So just draw this line on your charts, right? Or if you are just interested in knowing beforehand, I have already pushed some alerts here. So these are not trading alerts; these are just alerts for letting me know that the market has moved above or below an important level. So for shorts, as I just said, we look for the trend line break of the BD trend line, or if you are a little bit conservative, then wait for the break below 3816 level, which is the low of the apparent wave D which we have in this triangle, right? As far as the upside goes, if this market really is not forming a triangle and it has already completed its bearish movement at this point in time, then we already discussed the bullish scenario where this is the wave one up, this is the flat for the wave two, and this will be heading up for wave three, in which case we'll be looking for a breakout trade to the upside. So basically, I have already placed an alert around 4157-ish level. So any move above the last high around what is this? Again, keep a check on the actual price level on your chart, because I'm using a different data feed, possibly from yours. So on my chart, it is currently around 4193. So any move above that will trigger breakout longs. So we have clear ideas of what to do. The only thing is this is a 4-hour chart and all these levels are quite far away from the charts. So yes, we are not discussing any short-term trades on S&P, but it is what it is. Big news events incoming. Do not want to discuss any what do you call short-term speculative position here. Okay, so that's about it for S&P. If you have any doubts or questions, let me know before we move on to our next chart of Nifty. Thank you, Philip, Louis, Clever for the confirmations, and Jill, of course, and Fraser. Let me quickly load our next chart before we head over to our last one, which will be the chart of BTC. So Nifty 50. Last time I discussed that there was a possibility that this market is still heading lower, and the way it was doing is what we discussed is possible if this is a wave 4 under continuation sideways, right? So this is the chart I use for short-term trading. That's why there are so many lines and whatnot. Anyways, ignore them. What we basically are looking for is, let me just go a little bit to the left. We are considering this as the possible move, right? And this level we already discussed that this is the level of 17,196, which is if the market goes to this level, it will still be considered a wave 4, right? So since the market has gone at 17,196 or 97ish level, let me just remove it and show you. So the market actually went to 17,207, roughly 9-10 points above our suggested level. So I would say it is precisely working out so far as expected, right? So far this is suggesting that this count may be playing out, right? But as I said, a lot of it depends mostly on the upcoming news event. So I have not taken any overnight positions at this point in time. What my play will depend on is if the market really is going to go for the fifth leg down, then it is possible that it might become extended than the general measures, right? So in that case, I would like to not miss out on the short side opportunities. And the way we will look for it is generally possible ways it will proceed is possible gap down and anything below six. What is this? 17,000 level actually would be a sign of weakness. So that's why I have an alert placed near 17,000 level for market crossing below it. Long story short is bearish possibility still quite strong, still not relegated at all, right? And in case we do not see the movement downside, then we will be only interested in longs if the market sustains above 17,200. That basically means the market goes above it and then takes sort of support over 17,200 level. There's just one way of doing things. Second way would be if the market gives an extremely sharp and fast move or big green candle above 17,200, taking it to maybe 300 or something, right? So both ways exist. Personally, since I'm thinking that more bearishness is possible, I will look to plan my trade accordingly. But as I said, gap down or gap up moves may change the bias accordingly. Nothing new to add here. Let me know if there is any doubts or query on this chart. And yes, guys, before we proceed, make sure you have hit the like button. Most of you guys who enter in the webinar, sometimes I've seen have forgotten to hit it. And of course, more importantly, make sure you share the content once the webinar is complete. And also do note that we have very recently introduced the membership feature. So again, I'm repeating it because some people who watch it generally just watch segments. Some people will just come in for S&P, some will just come in for Nifty. That's why for the initial phase, we are repeating it that many times. So anyways, the point is that we have just launched membership. So if you are enjoying and benefiting from the content presented here, you can show your support by hitting the join button. And the further progress or the continuation of these webinars will depend on that. So if you want to continue seeing these webinars, show your support, right? So that's about it for our discussion on Nifty 50. Let's now quickly head over to our last chart of 1 second of BTC. Thank you, Jill, Louis, for the confirmations, and Charles. So BTC, last time when we discussed, where is it? The idea was very simple. There was actually no a clear update because we have already caught the, not clear, I would say, no important update because we have already caught this leg up entries around the last high and it is just going up. So it's a trail as it goes up based on your entries kind of situation here. There was nothing much to add and still it is still going up. We just discussed or added on this short term target around 29,440 or 442 to be more precise. But again, data feed may change things for you. Long story short is we expect that currently BTC is in somewhat this kind of a progression. And if this is the case, this really is the wave 3 here, then it is possible that this market may pass over targets or surpass the minimum targets and head straight for what is this 35,500-ish level, right? So this is definitely possible. So we don't know much which target will it take the resistance around. So as I said, just continue trailing it, and if the market clarifies itself, fine, unless your trail will be hit, right? So that's about it for our discussions on these charts, guys. Thanks for joining in as always. Make sure you hit the like button and definitely make sure you share the content with those who might find it of use. And of course, if there is any doubts and queries, please do post it before we close out the webinar. Thank you, Clever, Jill, Philippe. Okay, and Fraser, of course. So with that, guys, let's end this current session, and I'll see you guys in the upcoming one. You're welcome, Parvez.